The setup for this sternal modeling will be to create image planes. These are your sketches. This is the X-ray. What I've done is worked with the grid to give me 20 centimeters. Remember, each unit is a centimeter, and I divided that by 10. So that helped me approximate 17 centimeters for the manubriumGladiolus. And then I just use these purple lines as the subdivisions and the green ones to indicate where that is. But what I'm trying to do to make sure my scale is relatively consistent between files is I've aligned the units. See, so here's the 20 in the y-axis and the 20 in the x. And that's giving me my consistency. Now I've also, just as a reminder, once I have these all set up, I don't want to have to I don't want to accidentally move them, right? So I will select, hold the shift key and select each one of them, create a layer, call that layer image planes, and we'll make that layer a reference so we can use these. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is create the manubrium. I'll zoom in a little bit, and the front view, create a polygon primitive cube, and I'll use this grid. So I have 4 units wide, 6 units high, and if you look at the top view, about 2 units thick or deep. So I'll create this. Now I'll revert back to the front view. You can see it created it at, like everything else, 0, 0, 0. So I'll raise it up. Okay. Then I'll insert with the mesh tools, insert an edge loop. And what I'm looking for is how the manubrium changes. So this is to create something of the faces, the articulated area for the clavicles. I'll create another edge loop and make that the for the first rib. Maybe make another one and bring this one actually narrow or reduce the width so we get that shape. So I'm just going to move this top one, double click so I have all of the edges in the loop, move that up just so there's a little more distinction there. So that's just a rough estimate of it. I can I could make the gladiolus a separate item, a separate model, but instead what I'm going to do is grab the face at the bottom or inferior margin of the manubrium and extrude it. So I'll go back to the front view for a second. And first thing I'll do is just, if I can get this to zoom out for me, or dolly out, I just bring this down right to the point there. And then I'll add some divisions. And I'll move those divisions around just a little bit to give me again something of more of a general shape. So about there is where the manubrium will end. We'll pinch that in a little bit. and maybe actually move this one up. What I'm trying to do is make some spaces here, space these out relatively evenly, and just kind of get the general shape, because I'm going to rely on Mudbox to do all the details basically. Now again, down here, I would like to get that face so it's a little easier to go into the perspective window and reduce that. And as a matter of fact, since really all I'm using for the majority of this is perspective, I'm going to go under the panels and under layouts and say 2 panes side by side. So now we have perspective and the front. Okay. And that 2, which was pretty good up top, looks just a little thick. So I'm going to grab the object and just thin it a little bit. Okay, and maybe what I could do if I wanted to is grab some faces at the bottom here, use the letter B, and drag with the left mouse, and that does a soft select. So the scale now is kind of more gradually affects. So see, I'm getting very significant change down at the bottom where it's yellow, and then it's calculating a little more gradual. Okay, so that gives me, I'm going to undo that. I don't like that. Just leave that like that for right now. Just do just a little bit there. There we go. Okay, so let's save that.